Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm sure by the time this vlog goes up it will have been a minute since the last one went up. Since that vlog focused very heavily on the display, I put my time and focus very much into the display. And then immediately after I wanted to have the full display video up. So after such diligent focus on one thing I had to step back from the vlogs a little bit. My stockpile of standard videos for the channel was completely gone. So I've taken some time to get some of those recorded. By the time this goes up the event will have come and gone, but we're also going to be hosting a little get-together here at the house next weekend. So we've been going into overdrive a little bit to get more things upstairs prepared and presentable for people to come over and see. Even now we still have tons of things piled up everywhere that we haven't gotten to yet. So we've been kind of working to try to condense that down to one room, get some things hung on the walls throughout and make it look presentable. So that has also bitten pretty deeply into the time that I would use to work on my own projects. But I am starting this video now because once again, as I've had a few minutes to myself here and there, I've been working. So first of all, I'm going to take you up into the staircase. I've cleaned off a lot of the stuff that was basically just junk on this little ledge, and I've put some memorabilia here and a couple of antique fans. It is a little bit dark in here. My grandpa always wanted me to add a light in here, but I never got around to it. Now that my parents are here, I do think I'm going to add something. And especially since I have a little bit of display here, it could definitely use some light. So really the other thing to look at down here is that I've done some reorganizing and gained quite a bit of space. Just over here, there's actually quite a bit of open floor space. With the display done and out of the way, now I can really get some more unistrut and start hanging some more of these motors to get them off of the floor. The other area that I gained some space is over here. A couple pieces of furniture that were being stored over here went back upstairs, and we had like a spare mattress and box frame also sitting here. We were able to stash those upstairs as well. And with that out of the way, I've just been able to shuffle some other things around, so it's much easier to walk on this side of the table. So this was just a good small amount of progress to actually be able to walk around down here again. So just a few quick updates for you guys to open this up again. I'll be back with you soon when I start or continue working on another project. The big box is out again. Hey everybody, I'm back. It's been a number of days again since I last checked in. By now you've seen the installation video I did for the Casablanca Orchid, and I said in that video that I was going to do another project with it, so I'm going to show you what that is. I've been looking at this corner long term. I was thinking like track lights or some other sort of feature light fixture in this corner. Right now though, I don't have supplies or fixtures, anything particularly planned out, and of course having more fans is never a bad thing. So I'm thinking I'm going to hang it in this corner. Over here it's not really going to matter if it hangs down really low. I'm probably going to put some display stuff here underneath it. I have some prep work to do. I'm going to have to move this cabinet out of the way here. When I moved it over here, I thought this is where I was going to keep it, but I'm thinking I want to put this fan here, and going forward this location would be great for a large chandelier or something else in the future. The possibilities are really kind of endless. Once I readjust the two larger fans over here, I won't have quite as large of a space over there for a really grand light fixture. So this would be the last kind of open corner that I could do something like that. Again, I have absolutely nothing planned in that regard, but I'd like to have the option open. So I'm going to do the orchid, see what it looks like. If I really love it, I may never even change it, but I just wanted to give you the plan before I start with anything. So I'm not necessarily starting on that project right now. I may come back to it a little bit later, but regardless, I will check in when I do start or when I've made some progress on it. So it's a little bit later. I'm back working on the orchid project. As you can see, I have this corner cleared out, and the only other thing I've done so far is put in a piece of wood to span the two trusses. So I'm going to put the mounting bracket up, and then I'll pop the fan in and we'll see how it looks. Alright, so this is pretty much exactly what I wanted. Now, while this is a fan, I'm considering it more of an accent piece than an actual part of the fan display. I mean, technically, basically everything I'm putting in this space is display, but I'm not putting in a specific box for this fan. I'm not going to cut a hole over in the paneling for wall control. What's actually happening here is I'm considering the outer perimeter accent. So any powered features, whether they be fans, lights, signs, that stuff is all accent, and that's the stuff that I was putting on with the switched outlets. So I'm going to come back out of one of these switched outlets for the signs, bring a wire back, and I'll plant an outlet somewhere above the fan. The other component of the perimeter accent pieces is that I want them to be easily and conveniently switchable. So putting that receptacle here is going to make it flexible for the future. If I want to put up a light, a different fan, really anything, I have the means in place to do that. And then as I continue adding things down the line, I have no idea where anything might end up right now. I can continue out of this outlet that I'm going to be putting in to feed all of that. I'm happy with how this is laid out, so I'm going to go ahead and start running what I need to put in the outlet. Alright, so I really just cruised on this. I apologize for not filming more, but I was very excited to get this up and running. I love how this looks. It's very showroomy. Below I set up a shelf with just a couple antique fans that I could make fit, and then the rest is basically catalogs. And then over here I have the stand with my book of old adverts. And then I forgot to mention before, I think since the control for the Orchid is just battery based anyways, I think I'll just grab a wire mold box, mount it right here. So I'll probably do that down the line, but I don't have a box right now, so this is going to be it for now. So it's just a little bit of progress, but I love seeing these little bits of display coming together. I'm very happy with how this looks, and gosh, I'm standing over here and I forgot how much air this little fan actually moves. Even pushed up in the corner like that, I feel quite a bit of air movement from it. So that's going to wrap it up for me right now. Just another little project out of the way. I'll be back here soon to start on a new project. Hey everybody, I'm just checking in really quick. It's the start of a new week. Over the weekend I was mostly trying to play catch up on my standard videos, but of course in between doing that I was able to work on a few small things elsewhere. First of all, here I did get a wire mold box and I got this Orchid switch mounted. And then down here, this swag light that was in my old bedroom. I've been wanting to get it off the floor because I know that I'll drop something on it and break it. This may not be a permanent spot for one of these perimeter accent pieces, and it may move or be swapped to something else, but for now this space is open. And with the outlet for the Orchid in place, I just ran the cord up across the trusses. It was almost long enough to reach, but I did have to stick in an extension cord, which is no big deal for now. I would have just continued down and popped in another outlet for it, but I don't know where things are going to end up along this space, so I don't want to do anything permanent yet in that regard. Besides that, I was really just able to work on some decluttering over on this side mostly. I finally have it to where there's kind of a walkway here again. It was getting pretty badly piled in, so this is super nice to have cleared out. In doing that, things kind of piled in a little bit more again on this end. But down here I usually don't need as much access, so that kind of ended up being okay. I believe that's everything I wanted to show you from over the weekend. Once again, it really wasn't stuff that I could set up and really film anything for, so I will see you later for another update. Hey you guys, I'm out in the garage here for just another quick check-in. I have the motion activated lights that I talked about before in place. I've actually had everything but the lights in place for about a month. I went to place the order for the LEDs thinking they'd be in within a week as they usually are, but go figure, Kitchler had them on back order for about a month. They actually weren't supposed to come in for another few days, but they did arrive a little bit earlier than expected. So here they are in place. I did only go with 2 for starters. We really don't need much more than that to just give a little bit of light over this platform area. Here is my motion sensor over the door. It's just one of the very basic Lutron ones that you'd put in the wall. I do have it fine-tuned to where the small lights won't come on if there's any other significant light in the space, whether it be the big fluorescent lights or daylight. So that is why they're not popping on right now. I can manually activate them though. And I'll shut down the big lights just to show you guys how much light they do give off. I am happy with what they're doing here, and they really do throw off enough light throughout the rest of the space that you don't need to turn on the big lights if you're just doing something quick out here. So I think this was definitely worth doing. I am going to pop inside and I'll let them turn off. I think it's dark enough in here right now that they will come back on when I open the door so that you can see them activate by the motion sensor. So it's just like that essentially. As soon as you start stepping through the door, they pop on immediately. So that's all I have for right now. I just wanted to show you this since it's done now. I have some more projects coming up, so I will see you soon for more. Hey you guys, it's a little bit later and I'm working on putting some lighting in the stairwell. Basically what I'm going to do here is run a short lighting track horizontally across this little space, which will allow me to just put some spotlights on there and point them upward to fill this space with a little bit of light. You can see I have my hole through already for the wire, and I'm going to put it on with the switch that does this light. At the top right above the door, I plan to fish in for another LED disc. I'm not sure when I'm going to get around to doing that, but that's the plan, and I'm going to put that on with the switch for the fluorescent lights. The plan behind that is whichever switch on the stairs you choose, one of the lights is going to come on. I've been thinking a lot about what kind of lighting I can do in here. With where this staircase is situated, it's really not conducive to fishing in the walls, and this is still a very functioning staircase where we carry things up and down all the time, so things like wall sconces are not an option. I also don't really want anything way out on the ceiling where it's going to be hard to change bulbs. Even if I go with LED bulbs or fixtures, they're going to have to be changed eventually. And even if I get a ladder that'll work on the stairs, I don't even want to have to think about that. So that is why I'm going with fixtures right here at the bottom where I can reach to change bulbs. And then an LED disc just inside the door where it isn't exactly easy to change, but hopefully I won't have to change it for a number of years. So I'm going to get this piece of track ready with wire and I'll get it mounted. I will check in with you again when I've made some progress. I have my track mounted in place, the wire is through, and I have it tied in with the light. I still don't know what I'm going to be doing here as far as this light fixture. So once again, everything is pretty much temporaried in for now. So I'm going to get a couple of lights on the track and then I'll check back in and we'll light this up. Alright, so here it is lit up. I don't know that these are the lights I'm going to keep on the track, but for right now they're the only ones I have LEDs for, so that's kind of taking precedence. Definitely a major improvement over how dark it usually is in here. I was just realizing I don't think I've showed you guys the other shelf I added over here in the little display corner. I shoved the book of adverts over to the other side of the stairs for the time being, and this shelf was just sitting unused in the spare bedroom upstairs, so I figured I could utilize it. I basically just set up a display with a bunch of different controls, some of my new in-box stuff, and then on the bottom just a few more fans. So I just wanted to add that in before I forget about it altogether. I believe that's all I'm going to get done for right now. I'm really just killing a little bit of time. I think I have enough footage again to make this the end of a video, so thank you all so much for watching today, and I will see you next time.